part we need to take care about in working with WebDriver. What is the use of WebDriver? What is it? To develop automation scripts. For the purpose of developing automation script, we need to take care about this particular WebDriver. In the same way, we need to take care about in understanding or working with this particular TestNG. The WebDriver is totally different and TestNG is totally different. There is no way of connectivity. Your Selenium, nothing but WebDriver is totally different and TestNG is totally different. There is no way of connectivity. So this particular TestNG, what is the use of TestNG? To generate HTML reports for the purpose of generating HTML reports, we need to take care about this particular TestNG. I mean, in simple, according to that particular requirement, if you want to take care about in generating HTML report, we need to take with the help of TestNG. That is what we need to understand that what exactly the steps to be followed in generating HTML reports. For that, we need to take care about in completing or doing that particular respective installation which has been followed by those steps. If I'm taking with first step, what is the first step we got? Install TestNG in Eclipse. We need to install TestNG in Eclipse. In the same way, we need to take care about download TestNG jar file and add it to project. We need to take care about downloading that particular TestNG jar file and need to add it to the project. So before getting started working with the TestNG, we need to make sure that in completing these particular installation steps, once we done this particular installation step, we need to take care about. Once we done this particular installation step, we need to take care about in getting started working with the TestNG. Working with TestNG, it will be getting followed with the same step. I mean, you need to take care about our regular programming steps need to be done. So if I'm taking with that particular programming step, need to take care about in utilizing that particular respective Eclipse. Once we got taking care about that particular respective Eclipse, under Eclipse, what need to create? Project. Under project, package. Under package, class. Under the class, writing that methods or code. So we need to take care about in followed with the same. We need to continue take care about in this particular one. We need to followed the same thing. Considering that in taking with the project as part of project, under that we need to take care about in creating that particular respective package. All that particular programming steps, it will be followed with the same. First, you need to make sure that your TestNG installation is completed. Once you got complete with that particular TestNG installation, then you need to be get take care about in doing that particular programming of TestNG. While working with the TestNG, you are not worried about your Selenium jar files here. Your Selenium is totally different and TestNG is totally different. There is no way of connectivity. Just taking care about in creating with package that will be considering the TestNG examples. You need to be get take care about in creating with that particular respective package. Once package has been created, you need to be get take care about in having with creating with class. So that you will be providing that particular class name. You can provide any of the class name according to your comfortable. You can take care about in providing or in mentioning any of the class name. Once a got created with the class, inside of the class, what we can provide? Inside of the class, what we can provide? We can go with methods, we can go with main method. Assume that first I'm taking care about in just writing one particular method. I'm just taking care about in writing with the method, considering the method name is login, and then I'm just taking care about in printing with the statement. I'm just taking care about in printing with the statement, considering the login completed. Don't be confused about the names. We are not writing any Selenium code. Any Selenium code we written? No. We are not worried about Selenium part. For now, we are understanding how exactly we can take care about following with the steps in working with TestNG. While working with the TestNG, for the purpose of generating with the report, what exactly the steps need to be get followed. Send that if I'm taking with this particular one, need to take care about providing the method. What is the method we provided? Login. We are just printing the statement for our understanding purpose. Just for our understanding purpose, we are taking care about in writing that particular statement. After that, need to be get take care about writing with one more method. Need to be get take care about one more method. Mention that logout, and then need to be get printing with the statement, considering that logout completed. So we are just trying to understand that, taking with how we can work with that particular respective TestNG. For that, we created project, created with package, created with class, and created with methods. Now, we need to take care about in providing the code related to TestNG. This is our regular activity, but related to TestNG, how we can utilize that particular code. Further, in case of working with Java programming, we need to be get take care about that particular respective Java methods. In case of Selenium, we need to be get take care about in working with that particular respective Selenium methods. While working Java programming, taking care about that particular Java methods. In case of taking with Selenium, we need to take care about that particular respective Selenium methods. In the same way, while working this particular TestNG, while working this particular respective TestNG, we need to take care about that particular TestNG methods. Rather than saying the terminology TestNG methods, rather than considering TestNG methods, we need to mention the TestNG annotations. What is it? TestNG annotations. While working this particular TestNG, there is no concept of terminology saying that methods. In a place of methods, the terminology. What is the terminology? Annotations. Whenever you are working with TestNG, we need to get mentioned that TestNG annotations. Now, further, you can use the option. What is the option we got? Documentation. We got an option of taking with documentation. If we just click on that, documentation, you will get the second option. What is the second option? Annotations. The second option you will be getting with annotations, which it will take care about in providing list of all the annotations. How we got different type of methods, in the same way you will be having with the list of annotations will be there according to the program requirement. You need to get comfortable in understanding what are all that particular annotations need to be used. For now, as an example, we are using one particular annotation. We are taking care about one particular annotation mentioning the test. We are using one particular annotation mentioning the test. Any annotation need to be get represented by @ symbol. Any annotation need to be get represented by @ symbol. Whatever annotation you are using, you need to be get represented by @ symbol. Now this is one particular annotation. In simple, if I'm taking with method, what is the use of the method? To perform action. If I'm taking with the method, the purpose of the method, use of the method, we can say that to perform action. In the same way, if I'm taking with any annotation, need to be get. If I'm taking with any annotation which has been used to perform the required action, each and every annotation will perform the required action. As an example, we got method names. If we consider Selenium, we got a method name of get title. What is the functionality of get title? To retrieve title from application. We got the method name send keys. Use of the send keys, entering the data. We got method name of navigate.to. Use of that to enter URL. For the purpose of entering the data, can we use navigate.to? To enter the data in text box, can we use navigate.to? No. Every method, individual functionality. Each and every method, it will perform individual functionality. In the same way, if I'm taking with annotation, every annotation, individual functionality. Every annotation, individual functionality. Each and every annotation, it will take care about in performing individual functionality. If I'm taking with editors, what exactly it will be doing? If I'm taking with editors, what exactly it will perform? Assume that we got TestNG. Use of the TestNG to generate HTML reports. Use of HTML reports. Use of HTML reports. HTML reports use ఏంటి? There is no use, sir. That is the reason we are learning, sir. Use of TestNG to generate HTML report. Use of HTML report to generate TestNG. The use of HTML report to understand how many test cases pass and fail. For understanding how many test cases pass, how many test cases fail. To understand how many test cases pass and how many test cases fail, we need to take care about this particular respective TestNG. So in this way, we need to take care about in having this particular respective HTML report. In simple, if I'm taking with HTML report, the use of HTML report. What is the use of HTML report? To understand how many test cases pass and how many test cases has been failed. I mean, by seeing the report, we need to understand like 10 test case pass, 1 test case fail, or 2 test case fail, 1 test case pass. The count we need to understand. That means whenever HTML report is generated, in that HTML report, we need to able, in that particular HTML report, we need to able to say that the count need to reflect it. one test case, two test case, 100 test case. In the report, the count has to be reflected. How the count will be reflecting in the report? How the count is reflecting? How exactly the count is reflecting in the report? For that, in the program, if you provided one annotation of status in the program, if you provided one annotation of status, one annotation of status, one annotation of status, one status is equal to one annotation, one status is equal to one test case, or considering the scenario in HTML report. In simple, if I'm taking with the functionality of status, if I'm taking with functionality of status, the one status annotation, the one status annotation is equal to one test case, is equal to one test case, or one scenario in the report. In simple, assume that in the program you got one status. In the report, it will mention one test case. In the program, you got 10 status. In the report, it will mention 10 test cases. In the program, you mention 5 status. In the report, it will consider 5 test cases. So conclusion, one annotation of status is equal to one test case or one scenario in the report. Okay. Now, let's see that how exactly we can do that activity. So for that, I need to take care about in applying with annotations here. Whenever you want to provide annotations, whenever you want to provide annotations, any annotation we can apply for method. Any annotations we can apply for methods. Annotations cannot be applied for class. Annotations cannot be applied for class. In the same way, annotations cannot be applied for individual lines of statement. For individual lines of statement, I mean for individual code, we cannot apply annotations. Annotations are applied for method. So I'm just taking one annotation considering the status, giving an error. What is it? We need to import that package as simple for every annotation. For every annotation, we need to get import. For every annotation, we need to get import that particular package. For every annotation, we need to get import that particular respective package. See the understanding. As simple as whatever annotation you are working, for every annotation, you need to take care about in importing that particular respective package. Okay. So we created class, we created method, we provided annotation. Okay. Let me try to run the program. Let me execute this program. If I'm executing this program, will this program will execute or it will give an error? This program will execute or it will give an error. If I run this program will execute or it will give error. Why error? Why error? It will execute. Jar files were already added, right? Online students. If I run this program will execute or it will give an error. Okay. See that. According to our understanding, till now we mentioned that to execute any program, what you require? What is it? Main method. If you want to execute any program, it's mandatory that we require main method. Without having main method, we can't execute the program. So according to our understanding, to execute any program, it is mandatory we require main method. Because what is the use of main method? What is it? To start program execution. If you want to start your program execution, it's mandatory we require main method. Okay. Now, see the understanding. While working with TestNG, there is no concept of main method. From the TestNG or while working TestNG, there is no concept of main method. Because what exactly main method is doing? What exactly the main method is performing? The same activity taking care by annotations. What exactly the main method is doing? The same activity taking care by annotations. Because of that reason, while working that particular TestNG, there is no concept of main method. Okay. See the understanding. I'm just taking care about right click and utilizing the option. Taking the option is run as. What is the option we got? TestNG test. Previously, what is the option? What is it? Java application. When you write the main method, you will get an option of Java application. As we are executing through TestNG. Your Java program only, but we are working with the TestNG. We are executing with the help of TestNG. So that it is taking care about, that it has been taking care about in giving the option run as TestNG test. When you guys are practicing, if you are not able to get the option of TestNG test, take care about TestNG jar file. Just cross check that TestNG jar file, add it to project. Along with that, take care about TestNG installation. You need to take care about that particular TestNG installation. Your TestNG not installed correctly, jar file is not provided correctly, annotations are not provided in the proper way, you will not be getting the option of TestNG. So just you can take care about TestNG test. So now let's execute. We'll see that giving that result. So it is giving some error. While working with TestNG, you may get the two common errors, the regular errors, but not like mandatory. Not like mandatory, everyone will be getting same error. Not like mandatory, everyone will be having the same error. In case, if you are able to see the error in saying that J commander, just see that error. In the error, if you are able to see the name or some terminology, J commander. Another one, you may see that terminology sun.security. The two common errors related to TestNG, you may get the two common errors. One will be taking with J commander and one will be taking with sun.security. See that if I'm taking with these two things, if I'm taking with these two common errors, you may get, but not like mandatory. It is not like mandatory that you will be getting. In case, if you are able to see the two errors, if you are able to see error of J commander, to resolve that, download J commander, jar file and add it to project. You need to download J commander jar file and add it to project. In case if we got an error of sun.security, then you need to take care about add TestNG library. Add TestNG library. Add TestNG library for project. You need to take care about in adding that particular TestNG library for project. Now, so one is J commander. What is the solution? Downloading J commander jar file and add it to project. And another one, sun.security. What is the solution? Add TestNG library for project. Okay. So now you can see that if we just look into the error, what it is mentioned? J commander. So let me add that particular jar file. Adding the jar file followed with the same step. Adding with the jar file, following with that particular same step, taking with that particular class path, considering that add external jar. What is a jar file? J commander. Need to be get take care about in adding that particular J commander jar file. Let me try. Let me try to execute. Taking with run as TestNG test. So that it's need to give the result. Let's say that. Now, if I'm taking with that particular result, see the result. If I'm taking with that particular result, mention that test run is 1, failure is 0. It is mentioning that it has been executed, one test case, 1 has been passed, and failure is 0. So I did not get an error of that particular sun.security. So it depends on it. In case if we got that error, in case if we got an error of sun.security, what is the solution? Add TestNG library. So add a TestNG library for project. I mean, you need to just take right click and then taking with build a path. What is option? What is option? Add library. So need to take care about add library. Which library? TestNG. Clicking on that particular next and need to be get click on finish. For now, I'm not adding as I don't have that error. In case of having that error, I can try in the same way. Now, we are able to say that the count it is giving, test run count. What is the count it is giving? 1. Why the count is 1? Having with one annotation of at the rate test. In the program, we got one annotation of at the test. It is giving count is 1. But this is console report. This is in a console report. Our main objective of TestNG. What is the use of TestNG? To generate HTML reports. The main objective of TestNG to generate HTML reports. Now, see the understanding. After execution of program, with TestNG. After execution of program with TestNG. TestNG itself creating folder. We are not creating. Who is creating? TestNG. TestNG itself creating the folder. If I'm taking with that particular TestNG, it's need to create the folder. But when it will create? After execution of program with TestNG. After completion of the program, executing the program with a TestNG itself creating the folder, considering that folder name, considering that test hyphen output, test hyphen output in project workspace. See the understanding. See the understanding. After executing with the program with the TestNG, TestNG itself, TestNG itself, creating one folder, checking the folder name. What is the folder name? Test hyphen output. It is creating one folder name considering the test hyphen output. So that particular folder test hyphen output is creating. That folder created in project workspace. The folder is creating in the project workspace. In that folder, you will get the report. One is emailable report. One is emailable report. Another one index. Another one index, and then default sort. One will be taking with emailable report and taking with index and taking with default sort. In this way, you will be able to see that particular HTML report based on tester comfortable. Based on tester comfortable, you can take care about in referring with any of the report. Based on the tester comfortable, we can take care about in referring with any of the report. Now, see the understanding. We are working with TestNG. Use of the TestNG to generate HTML report. Generating the HTML report, it is creating the folder. What is the folder it is creating? Test hyphen output. Where it is creating? In project workspace. When it is creating? After executing the program with TestNG. So in that folder, what are the reports we are getting? Emailable report, index, and taking with default sort. So let's see that how exactly it will be done. So we got executed the program. We executed the program with the help of TestNG. We executed. We required in a folder to cross check that, to confirm that folder is created or not. I'm just taking with right click and using the option. What is option? What is option? Refresh. Once I done with refresh, I'm getting the folder. What is the folder? What is the folder? Test hyphen output. Did we create the folder? Did we create it? Then who created? Who created? TestNG. TestNG itself taking care about in creating that particular folder. I'll just go to that workspace. I'll just go to that particular workspace. You will be able to see with the today's date. With the today's date, you are able to see the folder test hyphen output. If I just open, what are the reports? One is emailable report. Another one, index. Another one, default sort. Let's try emailable report. If I just open, you are able to see that passed is 1, failure is 0. This is one particular template. This is one particular template. Another one, index. If I just open that, it will be taking with one method has been passed. In the same way, if I'm taking with default suit, considering that default test. So if I'm taking that particular one, that will be taking with pass will be the one, failure will be 0. Based on tester comfortable, based on tester comfortable, you can take care about in referring with any of the template. According to tester comfortable, you can take care about in referring with any of the template. Okay. So now I can say that this is how we need to be get take care about in getting started working with this particular respective TestNG. In this way, we need to take care about in working TestNG. Okay. In the same program, I'll go with some small modification. I'll just try in adding one more annotation. What is it? Etitus. We got added one more annotation taking with etitus. Let me try to execute. Let me try to execute. If I run this, if I just run this, you can see here. If I'm taking care about in executing, taking with runners, TestNG, test. So if I run this program, what is the tester run count you will get? Tester run count. 2. Failures. Why test run is 2? Is that one program, 2 program? Then what? What is the test run count you will get? 2. Okay. Let's see that. So now, test run count. What is the test run count? 2. Failures is 0. Why test run count is 2? Because of 2 annotations of etitus. Okay. Let me try HTML report. I'll just refresh it. You can see that. See the result. What is the pass count? 2. Failures 0. So it is clearly mentioning that particular report. So for the purpose of generating this kind of HTML report, taking the help of TestNG. This kind of feature is not available in Selenium. These kind of features by default it is not available in Selenium. Because of that reason, we are taking with the help of that particular respective TestNG. Okay. Let me try some more modifications. In the same program, I'll take care about some more modifications. Anyway, this report has been giving all the results related to pass. If anything fail, then how the results will be provided? Let's try on that. I'll just removing the colon. Even syntax error also consider as a fail. Now I'll run the program. If I run this program, what is the test run count it will give? Test run count. 2 or 1? Test run count is 2 or 1? Right. What is the test run count? 2. 2 or 1? Uh-huh. 2 or 1? Okay. Failures? Failures. Oh. Test run is 2. Why 2? You got in two annotations of editors. It is executing both the things here. It is understanding this is 1, this is 1. 1 plus 1, 2. Considering the 2 executed, in that 1 got pass and 1 got fail. So that fail, it has been given as a 1. Let's see that report. Now, if we just see that passed is 1, failure is 1. Pass getting which color? Green. Failure, red color. So by seeing that, can we understand how many test case passed and how many test case failed? One test case pass, one test case fail. So by seeing this kind of HTML report, we can understand that how many test cases pass and how many test cases fail. So for the purpose of generating this kind of HTML reports, taking the help of TestNG. Now, continued with the same, I'll just take care about some more small modification. That is, I will be taking with editors, writing one method, mentioning dot add employee, printing with the statement, considering dot add new employee. Sorry. Add new employee. In the same way, taking with editors, writing with one more method, considering dot delete employee, mentioning dot writing with the statement, writing the statement delete employee. Don't be confused. Are we writing any Selenium code here? No. Nowhere of connectivity with Selenium. Just we are trying to understand it, how we can work with TestNG, how we can utilize the TestNG annotations. That is what we are trying to understand. Let's see that. Now, I'll run this program. If I run this program, what is the test run count you will get? Test run count 4. Pass, pass, failure, failure. Okay. Test run count is 4. Pass, 4. Failure, 0. Okay. If I run the program, what is the first statement it will print it? First A statement print అవుతుంది. What is it? Add employee. After that, delete employee. After that, login. After that, log out. No. Okay. Option B. First is login. Okay. Add employee, delete employee, log out. Third option. Now, what is the third option? Add employee, delete employee, log in, log out. Okay. Let's see that. How it will be working. Let's consider that how it will execute. Let me run the program. What is the test run count? 4. Failure is 0. Okay, this part okay. See the printf statement. First statement, add employee. After that, delete. After that, login. After that, logout. In which order it is executing? What is it? Alphabetical order of method names. That means in simple, in the program, if you provided more than one annotation of editors in one program, if you provided more than one editors, it will execute in alphabetical order. In simple, in one program, if you provided more than one annotation of editors, if you provided more than one editors annotation, it will execute in alphabetical order. That is perfectly okay. Up to that okay. But when you work in the real time, when you are working in the real time, can we provide method names according to alphabetical order? Is that possible? You may already forgot alphabets. Yes, sir? No, sir. No, sir. Remembered? How many alphabets? 26 or 36? 26. Pakka. Still remembered. That alphabets you need to be get providing method names according to alphabetical order, which is not like in a very easy way. If I'm taking with this particular alphabetical order in a providing that names, which is not like an easy part. Because of that, we need to control that execution. That means as part of that programming or as part of that execution, we need to inform to the TestNG in which order it has to execute. We need to inform to the TestNG in which order it has to be executed. For that, according to these printf statement, just according to the printf statement, based on these printf statement, if I just look into this, what is the last statement we have to print? What is the last statement? Logout. That means this method, what is the method? Logout. The logout method, when we have to execute, ఎప్పుడు execute చేయాలి? In the last. So we have to inform to the TestNG in saying that execute in last. So we need to inform to the TestNG to execute that method in the last. So that information we need to provide. If you want to communicate with the TestNG, you need to communicate with the help of annotations only. For that, we are using one particular annotation. That annotation, what is it? What is it? After class. That will be taking with annotation considering that taking with after class. Now we can see here. So we need to be get import. We need to be get import that particular respective package. We need to be get import that particular respective package. Okay. Now we need to be get taking care about in importing that particular respective package. Okay. In simple, the functionality of after class. The functionality of after class. It will execute. It will execute after execution of all the annotations. It will execute after execution of all the annotations. If I'm taking after class, we can say that it will execute after execution of all the annotations. That is what you will be taking with after class. In the same way, you will be taking with this statement. What is the first statement we have to print? First statement print avali login. So in the same way, I'm providing annotation taking with before class. For every annotation, we need to import that particular package. For every annotation, we need to get import that particular package. That means in simple, we are taking care about in importing that respective packages utilizing the required annotations. We are taking care about in utilizing that particular required annotations. As part of TestNG, you need to get comfortable in understanding what are the annotations need to be used. We can understand in simple before class starting point, after class ending point. Before class it will execute before executing any annotation. After class it will execute after executing all annotations here. In simple, we can do that. Now I'll run the program. If I run this program, what is the first statement it will print? First statement, login. After that, add employee. After that, delete employee. After that, log out. What is the test run count? Test run count 4. Failures? 0. Okay. Let's see that run as TestNG test. Now we can see that. What is the test run count? Y2. If I'm taking with the test run count, don't be confused like it is giving the count of annotations. It is not giving the count of annotations. It will consider count of only editors because according to the TestNG, one editors is equal to one test case. Because of that, it has been given 2. Now we can see that first is login completed, add new employee, delete employee, logout. This is also okay. Now my requirement is first I want to print login. Okay. After that, after login, I want to print delete. After that, add employee. After that, log out. How we can do that? See that. What is annotation he got? Annotation, etiquette. While working, annotation of etiquette. If we got confusion about all these things, in simple, we can go with annotation of etiquette. For that annotation of etiquette, we can write the required conditions. We can write the required condition. Considering that in taking with this particular priority, we can go with taking with priority equal to 2. So I'm just providing priority equal to 2 and taking with priority equal to 1. So it will look into that annotation and it will check that condition. Based on that, it will go with in execution. Now if I'm executing, what is the first statement it will print? First statement, login or delete. Login or delete. Login. First is login or delete. Why login? Why login? By the given priority 1, right? Index. Even though you provided the priority, even though you provided the priority, before priority, it will look into annotation. According to the annotation, this annotation will execute first. This annotation will execute first. So because of that, first it will go with in printing that login completed. So see that considering that login completed, delete employee, add employee, and then taking with logout. So in this way, according to the requirement, we can take care about in utilizing all that particular annotations. According to the requirement, we can take care about in utilizing all the annotations. Now, we got annotation of before class and taking with after class. In the same way, when you are taking with, when you are considering with that particular interviews, most of the time, very regularly, you can expect one common question in asking that, the question, saying that difference between before class annotation and before method annotation. Difference between before class and before method. In the same way, difference between after class and taking with after method. Difference between before class and before method, after class and after method. So what exactly that particular difference? What exactly that particular difference is? Let's see that. See the understanding. What exactly this particular difference is? We look into the output based on program output. Based on program output, we'll understand that will be taking with before method and considering that after method. One will be taking with before method and taking with after method. Okay. So we need to take care about in utilizing before method, after method. Okay, done. See the understanding now. See the understanding. If I'm taking with execution, let me execute. Let me execute based on output. Based on program output, we'll understand what exactly the difference is. Now, cross check this output. Now we can see that. Is there any difference we got? What is the difference? Log in, log out printed 2 times. Huh? Duplication. See the understanding. See the understanding. Functionality of before class, after class executed only one time. Functionality of before class and after class executed only one time for the whole program. Before class, after class executed only one time for the whole program. Before method, after method. Before method, after method. Executed for every annotation. Before method, after method, executed for every annotation. See the understanding? See the understanding. We got two things here. One is before class, after class. Before method, after method. So if I'm taking with before method, after method, executed for every annotation of editors. I mean, in our program, how many annotations of editors we got? How many annotations of editors? How many? 2. We got 2 annotations of editors. This is one annotation of editors. For this editors, taking with before method and taking with after method. Again, we got one more annotation of editors. For this method also, taking with before method and taking with after method. In simple, before class, after class, executed only one time for the whole program. Before method, after method, executed for every annotations of editors. For every annotations of editors. So that is why, in that way, we can take care about in utilizing all the required annotations according to the program requirement. According to the program requirement, we need to be get comfortable. According to the program requirement, we need to be get comfortable in utilizing that particular required annotations. According to that particular requirement, we need to be get coming up with in utilizing that particular required annotations here. So in this way, we need to be get. In this way, we need to be get understand in utilizing all that particular required annotations. We are not worried about taking care about all the annotations according to the program requirement, we need to be get comfortable in taking care about utilizing the TestNG annotations. So now the whole concept is while working Selenium, there is no concept of reporting. Because of that, trying to take the help of TestNG. While working TestNG, TestNG is totally different, and then Selenium totally different. No way of connectivity. Previously, we done with Selenium. Now we got the steps of TestNG. Working with the TestNG, you need to complete installation and you need to utilize the required annotations here. So that is what you need to take care about it. Now, based on the program requirement, if I'm taking with this particular WebDriver, what is the use of WebDriver? To develop automation script. This is totally different program. And then we got TestNG. If I'm taking with TestNG, use of the TestNG to generate HTML report. This is a different program. WebDriver is different program. TestNG different program. Two individual program according to the requirement, according to the project requirement, need to take care about in combining both the program. That is what we need to begin understand in working the combination of WebDriver with TestNG. We need to begin understand how we can write the program or how we can work by taking with the combination of WebDriver with TestNG. If I'm taking the framework, we done with the framework. In the framework, you got implemented only WebDriver. For the same framework, we need to take care about in integrating TestNG. So if we integrate the TestNG, that you can consider a very full-fledged framework, considering that able to develop automation script and able to generate that particular HTML report. So in that way, for our existing framework, we need to come up with in integrating all the required features. How to integrate? Everything I will explain. But before going to that, first we'll understand how we can write some individual program with the combination of WebDriver and TestNG. So first we'll understand the individual program of WebDriver and TestNG. So once we got comfortable with writing the individual program with the combination of WebDriver and TestNG, then we'll take care about framework. For that framework, we'll integrate TestNG. After integrating TestNG, for the same framework, we need to integrate TestSuite. What is it? TestSuite. I mean, almost every day you will get one new concept. We need to integrate to the framework. Because of that, please take care about practice. Please take care about the practice of framework. Spend with the more time. All your coming sessions will be working with that particular framework. So all that features need to be get integrated with frameworks only. So take care about all that practice. So tomorrow we'll go with individual program and we'll take care about integrating TestNG to the framework. From there, we'll continue all that particular required step in integrating all the new features. Lot of features need to be get integrated step by step. We'll understand that how we can take care about in integrating. But please look into the practice. Spend with the more time on frameworks part. Okay. Take care about the practice. Carry on. Thank you.